the role of women and their legacy in the cooperative movement. Uh, the role of women. All right. So, connected on YouTube Live. Uh, gonna be live streaming with Aaron today. Aaron from the East Oakland Grocery Co-op. Super excited about that. The EOGC is doing some really cool work. Um, they're seeking sites in the Black Cultural Zone. They've good. Welcome. Thanks for co-hosting today.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you and good to be here.
Yeah, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. The weekend is here. You know, hibernation week, right?
Yeah. I've been flexing my delegation muscles and also my rest muscles,
Nice.
and yeah, yeah, feeling good about
Um,
it.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Um, do you wanna like give a brief intro about EOGC and what y'all are up to? How this book applies to your work?
Yeah, so I am one of the founding members of the East Oakland Grocery Co-op. We are a group of individuals who are rooted in the Oakland community. We really just want to bring food security and access back to this city that has been our home for so long. We're going through training phases right now, just getting grounded and rooted in our work. Delegated to you. Getting rooted and grounded in this work, but we're really excited about it. All of us are super motivated, ready to hit the ground running, and just ready to bring access and food and everything that all those good things to the folks.
Gotcha. Glad you're here and excited about the wrap up for chapter 7. Like we've gone through a lot this week and we've learned a lot.
Yeah, super exciting. I'm glad you invited me on these pages. It's ending on a nice, happy note.
Yep. How would you like to get started?
Do you want to get us grounded or jump right in? How do you want to do it?
Um, yeah. I was about to jump in. Let's see. I'm not. Let's see. So for grounding, I pray that and I hope as we come today that we come with joy and beginner's mind curiosity about what we'll find and how it can apply to us. And hoping that everyone finds time to rest, finds time for compassion, um, and yeah, just let's keep building. I say.
Sure. Cool. Well, I can go
So we're
ahead
on
and,
page 168, right?
yep, 168. Starting near the bottom with the Ella Jo Baker Intentional Community Cooperative. And it's a 15-unit limited equity housing co-op and urban intentional community in the Columbia Heights area of Washington, D.C., which is one of the most expensive areas in the nation. It was founded by 5 African American women, including Linda Leaks and Ajoa Nzinga Ifateo. I hope I did not butcher that name. But they wanted to create a women-led intentional community and housing co-op where social and political activists, especially Black women, could live with like-minded people in affordable and safe housing. Which that's so deep. Not only are co-ops focusing on creating job opportunities, but also housing, just a safe space where you're around people who are like you, want the same things, are motivated by the same aspects. So it's a big deal.
Yeah, for real.
And it says here the members started organizing in 1999 in response to gentrification, which we're still seeing to this day.
Yep.
Yeah, all over, right? And it was in an attempt to save affordable housing in Columbia Heights. So their goal was to become a model for other groups engaged in similar projects to save affordable housing in a city that was quickly losing it. That when I first saw this, my first thought was E.B. Pratt, man. There's
Yeah,
places
me
out here
too.
that are actually there's these communities of folks who are really just trying to keep us rooted to these areas that are sacred to us. It's our home where we grew up. We shouldn't have to go away just because it's not affordable anymore.
Yep.
And the group was able to partner with a nonprofit developer, and they bought 6 row houses for $1. A row house is in California the equivalent of a townhouse.
Mhm.
And it says that the members started moving into the apartments in 2003, and after some challenges, about 7 years later, they were able to finally close on the sale of the renovated units in 2010. About them recently, one thing that stood out about the article was it stated that they were forged in crisis. So this whole cooperative came out of a time where it was much needed, and they were able to hit the ground running. Didn't take too took a little bit of time, but not a whole lot, and still in operation to this day.
Yeah, I think we're both involved in some real estate projects and are realizing like it doesn't necessarily move fast. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. But it's worth it in the end,
Yep.
for sure. And then the next section goes into the Ujama Collective. And the Ujama Collective is a cooperative of African American craftswomen founded in 2007 to establish a year round open air artist marketplace in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, which is huge for me. I'm into artistry and DIY and crafting and things like that. So I was super excited to read this part. But the market is designed to provide booths and tables to entrepreneurs in the early stages of their development so they can showcase their handmade wares, foods, and goods. So it's a marketplace where these people are coming together and they're showing off whatever it is they have to offer from a brand new perspective. These are people who would have had to go other places and kind of just sell wherever they could. A little later, it says that they were nomadic vendors and they wanted a regular place in which to sell their wares and to showcase Black women's artistic talents and entrepreneurship. And they
Exactly.
started at a really special time. They began by sponsoring 2 successful holiday bazaars. One was on Black Friday, so Black women out there on Black Friday getting it done.
Eh,
And then the next one was during the holiday weekend, the Kwanzaa weekend, that same year, 2009.
wow, that's great. Like starting off with a pilot project and then keeping it going.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But they
Yeah,
got it
Mia.
done.
Yeah, Mia Kosua is right. It is hard to get started with like selling your own stuff. So having a place year round that you can come to is like a big deal.
Exactly, exactly. And it lists some of the goods that they were selling, which it looks like they actually had a lot of different things. Some sustainable, homemade, and organic products such as jewelry, hair products, natural soaps, gift baskets, tote bags, photos, games, music, and entertainment. And they also had food, vegan, vegetarian, and West Indian
Dang, it sounds kind of like the People Store on High Street. They're not a
food.
cooperative. They do a lot of this. Rob is dope.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So just a nice big melting pot, a gathering space for everybody to showcase their goods and create community.
Hmm.
And it says that their mission is to use non-traditional approaches to overcoming the longstanding economic and racial disparities in Pittsburgh's small business economy. So again, they just really want to create that community among folks who want to create this business system.
Hmm.
And the founder, Salida Hickman, wanted to show that women can make their own money and help develop their communities at the same time.
Like have something to point to for people to actually believe it's real.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, serving as a model, it's a huge deal.
Hmm.
And another goal that they had was to increase Black women's wealth. So they use socially conscious entrepreneurship that connects African American and womanist traditions to develop women's and family supporting community-based businesses. So
Mm.
not only are they doing that, but a little further, it says they're teaching entrepreneurship courses and cooperative economics. So it's full circle. They're
Yeah.
bringing their goods and services that they're able to sell, they're creating community and teaching other folks how to do it at the same time.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah, I see you. We can see a co-op marketplace out here in the deep for sure. Yeah. And Wakanda, yep, absolutely. Awesome. And the book even goes on to explain a little further the meaning of the word Ujamaa, which is a Swahili word for cooperative economics, which we see that's exactly what they were doing. They were building this cooperative economic structure that,
Mhm.
like Greg was saying, they were modeling for the other folks to follow along with.
Wow. And it seems like I'm seeing that they got a huge grant to start off with. Like that's not
Yeah.
always easy to do.
Right, 180K. That's
Yeah.
a huge deal. Circulating those dollars within that community, though, not too far away.
Mhm.
Mm. And I looked into that one as well. That collective is still in existence. They actually, during the time of the pandemic, they're still operating their marketplace. They're giving away items. They are also vending, so still in operation.
Hey, hey, that's blessed. Okay. So it's been over a decade
Yeah.
since they've been around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then the last few pages give us a nice little wrap up of the significance of Black women's involvement in the co-op movement. So starts off by saying women face many economic challenges, which stem from the gendered occupational segregation, a gender income gap still wide in many areas, and a huge gender wealth gap. Goes on to say that most women-owned businesses are small and in the service or retail sectors, and the revenues are disproportionately low, which to this day we still kind of see a bit of that, but we know that it is definitely a place of expansion and growth. There's work to be done, and there are women that are still out there on the ground doing this work.
Hmm. Okay.
One thing I thought was interesting, though, was that Dr. Golden Nimhart go on to said that the tendency was not really to focus on the cooperative economic development that these women were doing, but it more so focused on the capitalist development. But it's huge to note because women's participation in cooperative economics, um, it helped develop their leadership, managerial, and business skills, and also increase self-esteem and education, which in turn helped increase their income and their wealth. So the co-op model is something that's helping these women on multiple levels that are helping them bring in more income and contribute to this generational wealth gap that's already been happening.
Hmm. Okay.
Mhm. And because of their democratic structure and values, economic cooperatives allow women equal access to productive access and to an equal voice in governance. And at the same time, the women's participation in cooperatives brings diversity and innovation to cooperative enterprises. Solution for individual women, as well as a broader strategy to improve the community economy. And it's an irresistible opportunity for women to control their workplace and modify it to meet their family needs. So that's something they can bring back to the folks at home, something that maybe other people who don't have families aren't considering. And it's the reason why a lot of people aren't able to kind of move into these sectors because they have families and homes that they're taking care of.
Yeah.
And exactly, when the woman wins, the whole family wins. Yep, that's the whole idea.
Yeah. They in countries not America, I should say. I don't want to say third world countries. They typically start off like economic development with the women, for like the reasons that they're mentioning, and it's just like statistically, women tend to like invest in the family more than like men do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll get there one day, but yeah, America is on the later end of it. So, a little further down the page, it says that their efforts are a large part of the Black liberation and economic justice movement. So, we see these women moving into the space that allows really upward mobility for the whole Black liberation and justice movements.
Yeah.
And again, African American women have, in many ways, played unique roles in the development of co ops in the United States. So, earlier we were learning about the International Women's Auxiliary to the Brotherhood of Sleeping Carports, and they were engaging in consumer and cooperative economic education. Women founded cooperatives and worked with the Black and white labor movements to promote cooperatives and consumer education. That Black women had so much influence was unusual, but it wasn't likely. So it wasn't unlikely. It wasn't that it didn't happen, but it was a little unusual. However, the growing use of worker cooperatives in recent years as an employment and asset building strategy among women of color in the United States their own hands, and it reflects a modern approach to using cooperatives as an economic development strategy for economically marginalized, exploited, and underserved populations. Ooh, that's deep.
That's right. Yeah. And I mean, we've been reading throughout all of Collective Courage, and we've seen like throughout the timeline that like cooperatives have often been the place where you can find equality in the workplace, even
Mhm.
when like the U.S. didn't give women the right to vote. Like there was still like equal voting in co-ops as early as like the 1800s. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know. I'm just in awe of like, how much we've done as a people and not have known it. Like Nanny Helen Burroughs was amazing and all the work that she did. And then yeah, I don't know. And I'm really excited for next week to learn about Fannie Lou Hamer and what she was doing with rural cooperative development in like the Mississippi area. That's gonna be fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's so interesting reading into this book because, of course, we don't hear about these names and things that happened. We're told that, we were impoverished and that was it. But going through these different models and frameworks, it really does lay the foundation for people to come next. We all build off of each other.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, for real. And so, yeah, uh, I feel like by the end of the year, early next year, like the Black Cultural Zone in East Oakland is gonna have like so much cooperative activity because it's already
Yeah.
like a lot of people are thinking about it. I know that EOGC is gonna come through and do some amazing stuff, and I just want to be
Hmm.
there, support it, and hopefully we can help like folks who have been displaced through gentrification to come back and
Oh, absolutely.
productive and feel like this is a place that they can stay.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's a huge deal. I'm so proud and honored and happy to just even be a part of this work because it's such a huge movement and it's something that's going to change us for generations down the line. We'll see we have something to look back to now. So the folks that are coming after us, instead of being fearful or worried about what's to come, they can look back and say, "Hey, that person did it. I can do it too."
Exactly. Exactly. uh, Anything you want to
Amazing.
say to
Well, thank you for inviting me. Thank y'all for saving this space. It's definitely important work. I'm learning so much by reading this. So thank you, Greg, and to everyone out there watching. Hope you all continue to just keep up